Sunday afternoon in the UK. It's kind of 5 o'clock-ish somewhere. It's the NFL Around the UK Sunday Roast. We're calling it the Sunday Roast. We're sticking with the Sunday Roast. Matty and myself are joining us. Alex got called out for an emergency fence repair, as far as I can make out. So
yeah, he's had
the two of us today.
possibly one of the most northern problems ever. Just a fence has blown over and it needs repairing.
And it needs to happen today, apparently. Couldn't wait. So yeah, he might join us, but it'll be maybe windswept and interesting from Mr. Simpson's point of view. But how have you been, buddy? It's been a few days.
We'll see. Yeah, he might just join us whilst repairing the fence. Maybe he's just outside.
That would be us, wouldn't it? That would be so us.
Just like, maybe that's just going to be it. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, man, I'm good. I'm good. Obviously, it's the last London game today, I believe. It's going to be sad to see it go.
Last London game of this season.
Yes, quite. Yeah, not forever. We're worth not forever. But yeah, man, I'm good. Obviously, football has started early, so it's always a good Sunday. How are you doing, my friend?
14 hours of football, I believe. I saw somebody mention today.
Oh yeah, NFL football. It is pretty mental, isn't it? Like that is a lot. Like even oh god, oh no, it's all gone wrong. It's all gone wrong. Yeah, that is a lot of football. Oh gosh, we're having a mare today, aren't we? We're having a mare. Let's just have a chat to the chat. How are we all doing, people? Are we doing well? Yeah, no, I'm life's good. We got oh, what a podcast we're in for today, people. What a pod. Gary's stuff has died. Yeah, we got some big matchups to talk about this weekend. There's some huge matches in the NFL. There's also some absolute whiffers that I think deserve talking about, and I'm sure we will no doubt get onto them in due course. It's all gone wrong. Probably the biggest people want to give a shout out to is the Atlanta Falcons UK group. We have spoken about them on shows before. There we go. I believe he is back.
I'm back. No,
there we go. God, what a pod we've set up today. No, I was just saying, probably worth giving a shout out to the Atlanta Falcons UK guys. Obviously, we had a brief chat about them during the week as well. But like we said, there's quite a large group of them that have gone out to watch the Falcons today versus the Seahawks. So I don't really have a dog in the fight, but I'm going to be back in the Falcons. It sounds like they've put in a pretty big shift to get.
It's a big shift to get out there, and they look. There's a lot of them out there. There's a big flag I reckon it'll be on TV. There's a lot of them out there, and I think they've gone out for a pretty good game. Actually, I can see the Falcons in the nicest possible way running up a bit of a score on the Seahawks, because the Seahawks defense is speaking on the NFC West, not great on the NFC West show just before. Bo was saying they've had to call up 4 or 5 members of their practice squad for the 3rd week in a row to play defense for them. They are broken. They are broken. They can't stop the run, and the Falcons have a pretty good running back. They can't stop tight ends, and the Falcons have a reasonably good tight end. So I think it's going to be a good game for the Atlanta Falcons UK group out there, and not such a good game for any Seahawks fans out there.
Yeah, that could be tough. Oh, I feel like the Seahawks are one of the weirder stories from so far this season, right? Obviously, they started out the season pretty hot, 3-0. Again, I don't know. It could be like an injury thing. Obviously, I know you talk to Bo quite a lot. You've probably got an inside knowledge of this a bit more than I have. But yeah, they obviously started out pretty hot, like 3-0. It never looked like they were kind of blowing teams away particularly. And I know their start of the season schedule maybe wasn't the toughest either. But still, getting off to a 2-0 start is never a bad thing. Obviously, since then, it's not been quite going to plan in Seattle. They're obviously on a 3-game losing slide, and by the sounds of it, Gary's thinking it could be 4.
Not just me, even Bo thought it was a lose for the Seahawks.
Dear. Okay, when you've got when the Seahawks guy is like, yeah, it's not looking good. Oh dear. Okay. Yeah.
If even Bo said that, no, we're going to lose that one, I was a bit like,
if there's one man that loves the Seahawks, I know this man, and he's quite fond of his Seahawks. So if even he's not feeling overly optimistic, then I'm rather inclined to probably
You
back him.
have
I
to
think
think that maybe he knows a bit more about it than we do. So yeah,
he knows his Seahawks. That boy knows his Seahawks. But yeah, no, I was just saying, I feel like this week is so strange. Like, I feel like I know we're obviously gonna get on to what we think is gonna be like game of the week and what we think is maybe not gonna be so good. But we've got some matchups this week that are just absolute blockbusters. And like some of these I cannot understate I know it's still fairly early doors, but some of these are potentially like season defining games. Like these
Yep.
are big matchups. And then I feel like we've got some that just look absolutely stinky. Like,
so really, it's the nicest way of putting it. Some of them,
we are going to get onto these, but boy, some of these are not much
boys,
fun.
some of them.
I guess probably worth actually recapping. Obviously, the one game that we have had that has
Indeed.
finished so far this week. Broncos Saints. I said the Saints were going to win. I did not realize quite how banged up they were. Not that that is an excuse, because my gosh, the Broncos may have dunked on them just a tiny weeny.
Just a touch, tiny weeny bit. I mean, honestly, the Saints are free fall. They're in absolute disarray. I'm thinking Dennis Allen might not be in a job for very much longer. Especially considering what was happening that night. You know, Drew Brees was in the building. He was getting honored. He was being like Hall of Fame Drew Brees, blah, blah, blah. He was getting all of that. So you had everybody was there, all the old players, the managers, the GM, the owners, everybody was there.
Yeah.
Sean Payton comes in and literally beats up on the team with a rookie QB, barely any receivers.
And you could tell, like, he was
second or third string running back
for revenge. Like, you could tell.
He was making a point. Yeah. He was making a point. And 33-10, it wasn't even close from the outset. It was ugly. It was can't really put it all on Spencer Rattler, but what's going on? Why is Derek Carr not playing? Is he injured? I don't think he's really injured.
I think he might still be a little banged up. I know the initial change was kind of forced on them, but I don't know. I'm assuming he is still injured. Like, surely, not to beat up on the kid, but surely based on what you had seen, if Derek Carr was available, you would bring him back into the fold, I would assume. Again, no shade on Spencer Rattler at all, but being a rookie quarterback in any scheme is a hard thing to do. So
totally get that.
Not trying to kind of pile in on him, but yeah, it did not look good for the Saints. I mean, kind of lumping them in with the Seahawks here, talking of teams that started out hot. And since then it has gone wrong. Like, after 2 weeks, we were all gushing.
We were all gushing.
Nobody's business.
We all thought Paul was a genius.
Yeah, they were blowing people away, and like, it wasn't even close. They were embarrassing teams. And now, I know their roster is pretty decimated, to be fair to them, but boy, they, what a slide that is. Like, the Saints fans were
now they are embarrassing.
Yeah, like, the Saints fans were like back in on Derek Carr. Like, I know the relationship there was kind of looking like it was getting a bit ugly, but 2 games like that, why wouldn't you be totally back on board? And oh boy, now it's gone completely the other way.
Now it's just throw it all away and burn it all down, it seems. I don't know. But it's the joy of being a fan.
Oh, absolutely.
Not looking great for what's happening in New Orleans. Where do they get out of it? Because their cap situation is also pretty horrendous, I think.
Yeah, I don't know if they might be coming to that kind of situation where you kind of just have to suck it up for a year, maybe longer than that, and just accept that it's probably not going to be good.
It's not going to be good. You're going to potentially be the laughingstock of the NFC South.
Yeah,
which is saying something.
Which is saying something when you've got the Panthers in your division. Yeah, exactly. But it sounds like I didn't realize quite how much they had pushed down the road and just kept.
There's a lot of all that stuff. When you say you kick the can down the road, it'll come back and get you. It's coming back to get. It's coming back in a big way for the Saints too. And it's going to only get worse because they gave Derek Carr a bucket load of money, and he doesn't seem to be the guy.
No. So they are definitely a scenario to keep an eye on, because
question there, Matt. Sorry, Matty. Just suddenly saw the final score of the early kickoff today. How's that save Doug Peterson's job?
Have they done it? 32-16.
32-16. Is that?
I mean, I don't think
good
it's done
enough
any
result?
harm, but to be fair, I think that is probably fair to say it saved his job. I think they were on a monumentally bad start to the season. What was it? 1 and 5?
1 and 5. They were 1 and 5 before the day. Yep.
Which is always hard about when your owner before anything kicks off is like, this is the best Jag squad we've had since I've been in charge, and we should be winning now. When you're on a 1 and 5 start, surely you may not necessarily be on the hot seat, but you're just about there. Like that's obviously not the kind of start the owner was looking at. And I know it's been a bit icy with Doug Peterson, right? Like he's kind of faced questions about his job, and he's kind of been very like, why is anyone questioning my position?
My
position
should not be in question. It's just like, you know how this works in the NFL.
I'd be a bit worried if reporters weren't questioning your position. Like, I feel like even rookie coaches like in this league now, like you are under scrutiny pretty fast. Like
straight from the off, really, isn't it? There's no bedding in period or.
Yeah, and I guess that's like one of the biggest differences between like English football, right? Like if you lose a couple of games, that's okay. You've got like, let's say you
got 32 of them to get
5. Yeah, obviously that's bad, but I have another 33 games to make it up. Could go on a cup run. It's fine. If you lose your first 5 games in the NFL, that's like a third of your season. Playoffs are basically non-existent. Like, it's so different. Like I don't think a 1 and 5 start can be like understated. That's pretty bad. I mean, I guess now it's 2 and 5, which is better, but I would assume they're still going to be keeping a very close eye on him, I would imagine.
I would imagine he's not entirely safe. And as we said, the first head coach has already been sacked. So the second one going, really stand out.
It's
right?
already started, yes.
Yeah. It's like the second one's been sacked. The second, nobody remembers the second.
Yeah, literally. I feel like once that first team pulls the plug, then you're like, oh boy, here we go. Because I feel
anyone who's on a dodgy situation, anyone who's in a really bad losing situation, Dennis Allen, guy at the Bengals.
But it does ramp up.
The Panthers might as well get a new coach as well, right?
Oh, why not? In for a penny.
Why not, right?
But it does ramp up, because all of a sudden, if you have those other teams around you that are losing, and all of a sudden one of them makes a change, all of a sudden you're going to have those owners be like, "Oh God, well, this team is trying to do something to get out of this hole. Do we need to try?" So all of a sudden, a team that can be very like, "Oh no, we're totally behind this guy," and they're like, "Oh no, but another team's changing. Maybe we need to change." All of a
totally
sudden,
behind him out saying it to the press, you'll be totally. He's our coach, but on the phone out in the back going, "You're afraid."
I feel like that's almost a bit of a death wish, right? I feel like as soon as the owner is like, "We are 100% behind this guy," you're like, "You're not."
Dreaded vote of confidence, right? It's the same over here.
Don't say that. You're not.
How many England managers and how many other managers of football teams in the UK and England have had that?
Yeah, that was always my favorite Roman Abramovich line. It was like, "We are 100% behind this coach." Like, he is gone. He is done.
See you next week. He's out. See you.
He's finished.
That's it. He's been given the vote of confidence from the board. Oh right, so yeah, he's back in his bag.
He's got like one game to prove his job. Then he's done.
He's out of here. There's I can't even think since Thursday. There's not been any big news that's broken over the NFL. There's no big trade. I know there's some rumors. I saw there was some rumbling rumors that people were thinking of trading or trying to trade for Debo.
Oh, really? Has that come back again?
It's not. It's come back, but it's Debo is one of those players that teams are monitoring.
Yeah,
and it's like, well, of course he is, right? He's a unicorn player. Teams are going to be monitoring. So that was an interesting one since Thursday. I was like, well, I don't like the sound of that.
Yeah,
is a smoke without fire, and
surely that's the kind of thing that is. If a move like that is going to happen, which again, obviously Brock is going to get paid at some point. There's only so long they can keep all of these guys together, right? And when people are coming through like Juwan Jennings, maybe losing someone like a Debo or something maybe isn't as scary as it was. That's obviously still scary. Like, yeah, Debo to this offense is ridiculous. But that feels like the kind of thing that's going to happen maybe like in the off season, right? Like surely this season has got to be the kind of thing for the 49ers where we need to
ride it out. You need them all together.
Yeah, we have to. Yeah. But I don't know. Then I suppose maybe this ties into that 49ers Chiefs game. Is this a must win for the Niners? Because if the Niners lose now, and the rest of our schedule is pretty savage.
Pretty brutal.
That's a 3-4 record. Like that's not great. Do they potentially think, you know what, maybe we could get something for this guy? You know, like I feel like this season's so weird.
So weird. It's so hard to pin down, isn't it? You know,
Yeah.
imagine it, you know, beat the pants off the Chiefs, and everyone's like, "That's it, we're gonna win now."
Oh yeah, all of a sudden it's such a coin flip business. You can go from being best coach in the league to total moron in the space of like 3 hours based on one game. Like it is so reactionary. It's so reactionary.
It's why we love it, though. It's why we love it. It's why we tune in. It's why we stay up late to watch it. It's why we stay up late to watch it. So let's dive in, shall we, to
Gary's Game of the Week.
See, he might be fixing fences, but he's still here in spirit. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, fixing fences, but Mr. Voiceover is still getting his royalties.
He is still working. Yeah, absolutely. Go on then, Gary.
As you say, you know, there are some eye-catching games. The Vikings-Lions, you know, NFC North matchup does look tasty.
Oh, big time.
Does look like an early kickoff as well. So lots of eyes on that one. Packers Texans, I think, is also another one that's a sneaky good one. You know, Packers came off a really good win against the Cardinals. Actually, put a beat down on the Cardinals. Texans not quite hit their stride yet, but still looking good. But we just mentioned it. We just talked about the Chiefs. We just talked about the 49ers. You cannot look past the Super Bowl rematch. 49ers Chiefs has to be the game of the week for every. I mean, it is the game of the week. It's the network's game of the week. All the big stars are there. It's being, you know, Tom Brady's calling it. It's 9:25 over here. It's whatever that is.
Yeah,
everything. It's got everything. That, you know, the storyline, the preamble is all going to be about the Super Bowl and It's just crying out. It's one of those games that circled on the calendar as soon as it came out. Everyone's going to be tuning in to watch it. There's massive. There's a joint in the UK up in Newcastle. There's a joint watch along with the 49er faithful UK, and I wanted to call them Arrowhead Abroad, but I think the account's just been hacked, so I think they're calling themselves the Brit Chiefs right now. Apologies, I can't remember, but they're all up there in Newcastle watching it. So it's just going to be a massive game. It's just the game of the week. It may be even the game of the first half of the season.
I just feel like there's so much riding on this, right? Like I feel like maybe not even necessarily from like the Chiefs' point of view. Like obviously they've started 5-0. Like if they drop a game, that's not great. But with the amount of AFC teams that are just falling over themselves right now, if they've ever been in a position to drop a game, like now feels like it probably would be it. But you know, like I've kind of already touched on, the Niners are 3-3. Like if you lose that fourth game already, and again, the NFC West isn't really looking like it was going to be the division we thought it was going to be. So of all the years for this to happen, it might be okay for it to happen now. But I can't help but feel like there's going to be maybe a fair chunk of the fan base that might go into a mild meltdown.
Mild
meltdown. If after the result in February, the team that puts us at 3-4 is that same team, I can't help but feel like people are going to have a bit of a field day with this one if the Niners lose.
I mean, it writes itself. We can't beat the Chiefs. They've beaten us for the last, I think, 6 in a row or something like that.
It's not good reading.
Mental. Can we get over the hump? Is this the game that proves? You know, it's got everything. This game. I think you're right. There is a potential meltdown from social media and fans afterwards that, you know, we should tear it all up, sell everyone, and start all over again because our window's closed and we can't beat the Chiefs. Blah blah blah. Or potentially, as we said, the other way, you know, we come out, we play our game, we play really well, we beat the Chiefs, and suddenly that's it. We're winning everything and we're going unbeaten and la 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 la. So it's just got so much riding on it. I just cannot wait for it. It's one of those games where there's a lot of games in the NFL on a Sunday and you're like, you should win this one, so you feel quite comfortable about it, and you don't get that sometimes fizz. This one's got that whole sort of friction going on, and you're going to be like edge of your sofa, even if it's 1 o'clock in the morning. You're going to be whooping and hollering, even trying not to wake up everybody, but not caring if you're waking everybody up. It's going to be one of those.
Yeah, there's definitely enough juice here. I feel like, you know, sometimes I feel like the 49ers side, they seem to be preparing for this, right? Like there's been a lot of interviews where the players have just been saying like, you know, this isn't a revenge game. Like this, it obviously is, but in theory, even if the Niners win today, this means nothing compared to the last games the Chiefs have won over the Niners. They've all been more significant, it feels like.
Yeah.
And also the kind of situation that I feel like the Niners have kind of backed themselves into. There's already enough pressure on the Niners without them saying this is a revenge game. We need to win.
We got to win. This is a must win because it's like
the team are fully aware of the spot they're in, right? Like they know that this is not ideal. But yeah, this I mean, I hard agree. This is by far the game of the week. I mean, what a slate that is. Like you said, it's in the prime spot. This is going to be massive, and I feel like it has so much riding on it for both conferences, right? Like I feel like the AFC team is going to want to be like, we need to see that the Chiefs are beatable. Like this must be kind of depressing for the AFC right now. Like the AFC
they're not looking good,
falling over themselves a lot. The Chiefs haven't even looked fantastic, and they're 5-0. And like now they seem like they're starting to pick it up, and it's like, oh Jesus! Like if they're 5-0 without looking great, it's not. Oh my God, he's actually joining.
Where's the fence? There he is. Hello, boy.
Hello, boys.
Oh, I can't believe you've done it. We laughingly said you might be dialing in with a broken down fence behind you, and here you are. Oh, brilliant!
I've kind of escaped for a bit and done the dog walk, so I thought I'd just quickly jump on. I was listening. Boys, Chiefs tonight. If we lose, it's out of division. No worries.
It's not a big,
I'm quite
it's
happy.
not a big deal,
I'm quite
right?
happy to give it up.
So, Alex, pretty calm about this. Okay.
I generally am. I generally am. I don't think it's a big deal. We'll meet him in the Super Bowl anyway. So.
Oh.
There it is. There it is. So the Chiefs are making the playoffs this year.
Yeah, I think. They might. They might.
They might do. Yeah, we were just saying, it's got to be worrying for the AFC though, because the Chiefs haven't looked great. They're 5-0. The AFC can't.
Yeah, you're right. This is the only time the 49ers can beat them. They should beat them.
Yeah, and it should then, as Matty was just kind of alluding to there, it gives the rest of the AFC hope, because otherwise, that whole conference is falling over itself to give the Chiefs an easy ride. So if we do beat the Chiefs, then this is the prime time to do it. They're not looking great. The Niners getting a massive morale boost for having their rookie draft pick available, ready to play. That's like an insane storyline. Guy gets shot 2 weeks before preseason and soups up week 7 to go out and play. It's just like mental. How does that not give everybody in the locker room a massive boost?
Yeah, I also think that the Chiefs having a bye week actually helps the Niners a little bit, because of Chiefs aren't in rhythm, and having a bye week, I don't think that's going to help the rhythm anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Mahomes is playing a lot shorter than he used to. Deep plays not in there.
Is he?
It's all on time and it's all on rhythm. So, yeah, I think I think that if the 49ers don't win, I'd be disappointed. But if they do lose, I'm not too worried.
You're not burning
this division.
Yeah.
Let's face it, we're not going to get number 1 seed. Vikings will win that because they're going to go unbeaten all the way to the end of the season.
Hang on. So the Vikings are playing in the Super Bowl as well as the Niners and the Chiefs.
Yeah, we're just going to make
playoff.
One mega coalition against the Chiefs.
And according to Thursday, the Falcons as well. So
yeah, mate, everyone's making the Super Bowl.
Everyone's going unbeaten from this point. This is it. Week 7 is the turning point for so many teams.
To be fair, though, I suppose the other way of looking at this is like the Niners do have a bit of a history of doing this, where like a team seems unbeatable, and then all of a sudden the 49ers rock up, put in that like statement win, and then everyone was like, oh, that's how you do it. Like the Eagles last year were what, like 10 and something, and then they played the Niners, and the Niners absolutely battered them, and then everyone was like, got it, that's how you beat the Eagles. And then the Eagles absolutely collapsed, like monumentally collapsed. So the Niners could put in a shift here.
Yep. I think it will. I think they will. I think with Pearsall back, I think, as you say, the Chiefs are not looking good. I think the Niners are not as banged up as they were a few weeks ago.
They're
coming
back.
Mini bye, as since Thursday, so they've had a good 10 days rest and recovery and whatever else to get ready for this as well. So I think it's to be a cracking game. But yeah, I see the Niners just edging this one.
Yeah, I'm going for. I don't think the Chiefs get to. I think it's the first to 30.
Ooh, okay.
Because the Chiefs haven't scored 30 points all season.
Yeah, they can't stop. Yeah, if the Niners score 30, 31, then they win because the Chiefs can't get to 30. They just don't have. They've got Kelsey and I don't even know who their running back is right now. I think it's the guy whose sister. The biggest story about him was there was some wedding and all the family was watching him because he's some rookie guy and walk on. They've got nobody in the backfield, so it's. But then again, they're still 5-0 with no weapons. So yeah, if you get 30,
I think it's a race to 30. Before I hop off, I just wanted to give my Simpsons stinker.
Excellent.
Of the week,
Absolute
and a
stinker.
game
Good man.
where it will not get over 17 points, and that is Eagles Giants. Turn your TV off.
Oh yes,
Turn your
Eagles
TV off.
Giants. Don't even bother. Don't even bother.
There will not be a combined 30 points in that game. And I'll give you this one as well. No quarterback is throwing over 150 yards.
Oh my god! So you're going for like a real stinker.
Real stinkathon. I thought you were going to call the Rams Raiders as your stinker. To be honest, I thought that one was on your radar as a bad one as well.
Nah, Eagles Giants. I just look at the two QBs. Those two QBs are not in form. They're not going to hit 150 yards.
Love it.
I'm gonna shoot and jump in the
an
comments.
Absolute shootout.
I want to see what your two games are of the week. Cause there's some crackers. There is some crackers. I think Falcons Seahawks could be a sneaky good game as well.
Ooh,
yeah, definitely. Like okay. Definitely called that one. Vikings Lions is obviously up there as well. Take it easy, mate. Catch you later.
I do appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thanks for joining, boy. Amazing.
Totally I did not think you was actually dedication. Turn up. That's dedication for you, isn't it? Dedication. Walking the dog out with his kid, still dials in.
Does that officially make Alec a field reporter? I feel like he's put in a shift there.
Does that make Alec our NFL outsider?
Oh my god, it's happened! It's happened!
It's finally happened. God. What's it like outside, Alec? It's windy.
Amazing! What a guy! We have the NFL outsider has been born.
It actually has happened. No, but he's right though. I think there are some tasty games. We mentioned it. The Vikings Lions. It's gonna be good.
Oh, that's gonna be good. This feels like the definition of like immovable object, unstoppable force coming at him. Like this Vikings defense. I know we've spoken about it a lot, but it's confusing the hell out of people. But if there's one team, good point, Alec. Yeah, seemed like a really cool guy.
Seemed like you knew what he's talking about.
But if there's one team that you expect to kind of run up points, this Lions team are proving they can do that. And I'll admit I was kind of wrong on the Lions. I expect them to have like a bit of a down year, but I feel like they're really starting to click now. And like this team is going. But of all the teams that I'd maybe trust to stop them, it potentially would be this Vikings game. It's obviously a division game. They know each other inside and out. This game is going to be a cracker to kick off the Sunday of like the American games, at least. I know we've already had a game, so that's going to be a hell of a good start for the American games.
It's going to be strong. I mean, I wonder how impactful losing Aiden Hutchinson's going to be for the Lions.
Yeah,
because that's a the heart of their defense is gone in a way. So
well, I mean the numbers he was putting up were ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like I mean, to the point where like the second place player in the amount of like pressures and stuff is like double figures away from him or something. Like his numbers are genuinely ridiculous so far.
Genuinely defensive player of the year kind of numbers.
Oh, it's such a shame. Such a shame that he's out now. Such a shame.
And I do think the Lions have got to get on the phone. They've got to go either speak to the Raiders because Crosby certainly doesn't sound happy.
No, that seems to be really picking up a bit of speed now. I thought I would never see him anywhere other than Vegas, but boy, he left
enough of a teaser, didn't he, by saying, "I'm here to win now, wherever that's being." And I'm hearing.
That's what I mean. Leaving that in there is.
And then I heard also, and speaking with Jay on the NFC West show, that he got sent home from training during the week for being disruptive.
Oh, that's not ideal.
If his buddy's gone, he's been traded, and now he's making. You get on the phone, right? If you're the Lions, or if you're a team in desperate need for like a a defensive end you just get on the phone and dangle like a second rounder and some extra money or something to it?
I mean, there's no harm in it. I'm not being funny. Clearly, the Raiders have been shown that they will get outmuscled by a star player. Like Devontae Adams wanted to leave. The Raiders could have easily said, unless we get what you want, we're not letting you go. But they noticed they did, and it wasn't.
They let him go for peanuts.
Yeah, in reality, what they have let him go for. Obviously, you can pick up a start anywhere in the draft because people speak out the draft all the time. It's a bit of a crapshoot, right? Like you could pick up, I don't know, say with like Mr. Irrelevant and pick like the best quarterback your franchise has had in a very long time. Or with the first overall pick, you could pick someone not good. There we go. Good job,
Marcus Russell. Anyone?
There we go. You know, Zach Wilson. I mean to beef the guy too much, but come on now. So you know, the draft is what it is. But yeah, like you said, for what they've gotten rid of and what they have gained are two wildly different things.
Yeah.
So the Raiders have shown they could potentially get bullied. So
I could see that happening. I could see, or I could see the Lions picking up the phone to the Browns, depending if the Browns lose today to the Bengals, and say, because you know the Browns have already traded Amari Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
They've got a hideous situation with their QB in the cap space, and maybe they want to get Myles Garrett off of their books. Myles Garrett in that Detroit defense.
Potentially, I mean, if they're fully just willing to, you know, are they just letting this season burn now? Like, are they happy to just think like, you know what, this is
this is it. Yeah, we're fire sailing. We got to get as much as we can, get money off, get people off the books that are going to cost us money next year. Let's get as many picks or whatever else as we can. Then Myles Garrett surely must be somebody that people are looking at to, try and prize out of that situation. I would be. I mean, and especially if my star defensive end has just gone down with a season-ending injury, you'd definitely be on the phone.
I was literally just about to say, do they get on the phone to the Jets? But literally, as of a couple of hours ago, Hassan Reddick has agreed to end the holdout and agreed to a deal with the Jets. That's finally happening, apparently.
It's so Jets. It's so Jets.
Never mind.
I mean, could that be more New York Jets than holding out after trading to that team, not playing a snap, holding out, and now going back? Oh, it's like, obviously what's happened there is nobody else has picked up the phone, and he suddenly realizes, like, if I actually kind of want to get paid, and
this isn't happening. Yeah,
I better quickly get suited up and get back on the field.
Probably just been on the phone to the accountant, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you, mate.
No, it's not looking good.
Money.
We're hemorrhaging money here. Nobody seems to be picking up the phone and offering you anything. So
I think you might just have to sign what they want to put in front of you. Yeah,
just take it. Yeah, just take whatever you got. Get out on the field, for crying out loud. Otherwise, we're in real trouble next year.
Yeah, never mind.
That is beautifully Jets. Or is that the Devontae Adams? Is that the Devontae Adams trade?
I mean, maybe.
Is that what's happened? He's suddenly gone, we'll let me back in.
You're like, yeah, there is something here for me now. This feels more. But then I guess he would have agreed to the trade in the first place. So I suppose he was never too down on them, I guess. But that makes the Jets maybe sneaky spicy then. If they're adding Hassan Reddick. Well, I say adding. They've obviously already added him, but if he is now officially going to be playing for them and actually contributing to the team rather than just being drama, then that now, that with Devontae Adams, maybe that does make them a bit spicy. I know we've already spoken about this and they're in a bit of a hole already, but that adds a little bit of spice.
It's not completely impossible that they dig themselves out of it.
It's very unlikely, but it could be. This is the NFL. Weird things happen. The Bills somehow won their division last year when they were like 6 games off with 6 games to go.
They just went on an absolute tear up at the end, didn't they? And that could happen with the Jets now. They've got Devontae Adams, and I'm sure you've seen all the beautiful pictures and the slow-mos of the first Aaron Rodgers to Devontae Adams.
People
are gushing all over it. I mean, you remember and surprising, I must say, kudos to the NFL UK and Ireland and everybody else and the Jaguars and stuff. They did not shove Louis Reed-Zammit down everybody's face this week.
Yeah,
because I was worried that if you remember my rant at the beginning of the season, I thought they were literally everywhere we looked was going to be him everywhere, but they have actually been pretty controlled about it. I mean, there's been a few pictures of him, but not like he is the be all and end all, because heck, he's not even bloody playing. So it's not really that surprising, but well done to them for not falling for that.
Good job.
Good job.
Good job,
Good job.
internet.
Good
Well
job,
done.
and good job for actually finally getting a win against a bad Patriots team.
Good job all round. Good job all round. Right, I suppose as we're potentially looking to wind this down soon, so we can start watching those hours of commercial-free football.
Don't forget, because Scotty Hansen's about to say the magic line. So first of all, Matty,
It's time for Matty's Mayhem
See, it's like he's still here.
matchup.
It's like he's still here.
it's like you can't get away from him.
Yeah, there are some good ones here. There are some good ones, and I've googled the over, and to be fair, it's a little bit high. It's 49.5, so that's actually not too bad. Now I think about it, so that's pretty standard. I am gonna go Bucks Ravens here, which might be a bit hot, but I'm thinking the Ravens kind of play both sides of this. Their offense has looked pretty ridiculous recently. Like, Lamar Jackson looks like he's playing better than last year when he won the MVP.
Yep.
Like, that offense is clicking. Like Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely, Zay Flowers. There we go. Was forgetting his
There we
name.
go. Well done.
Like, that offense is clicking and moving the ball. I mean, you just have to look back at their game against the Bengals. What an absolute definition of a shootout. That was ridiculous football. So the Ravens will definitely put up points here. I'm also thinking the Ravens defense to this point hasn't really shown up as the unit they have been for the last couple of seasons. Like, don't get me wrong, they've not been catastrophically bad, but they've not been as suffocatingly good as we have seen them be in other years. So I'm kind of having faith here in the Bucks and kind of what they're doing. Again, I know I predicted Baker Mayfield to be top 3 in the MVP, so I'm expecting him to maybe put up some absolute madness here. But it just feels like, again, this is a team that works and it clicks. And like we said, they've got a lot of continuity with last season. So I would expect both teams to put up a hefty amount of points here. I'm not saying this is going to be an all the way a Ravens Bengals shootout, because that was beyond
just
stupid. And don't ever expect that from most football games. That was ridiculous. But I think I can see both teams putting on a bit of an offensive display here. I'm feeling fairly confident.
What's the over on the Vikings Lions?
Vikings Lions. Let's have a look. Vikings Lions. That's actually higher at 50.5 So I mean, only by a point.
but it's 50.5.
I suppose that's a weird one though, because I mean, like we said, the Lions have shown they can, a la Dallas Cowboys,
drop points.
They have shown they can tear teams a new one. So the Lions can absolutely do it. I mean, the Vikings have been putting up some points as well. They've been looking pretty good. But I don't know. To be fair, I could see both of those being high scoring. I guess I just maybe have a bit more faith in the Vikings defense. But also, I suppose if anyone could blow that defense wide open, it could be someone like the Lions, who are just going to be like, yeah, we know you're going to run some confusing shit. We're just going to smash through it. Like, that's just what we're doing. We don't care.
We don't care. We're going to do our stuff, and you get on with your stuff. And by the end of it, who has the ball at the end scores the last points.
I'm not playing your fancy mind games. We're just going to attack. That is all we're doing.
All out attack. We'll try and stop you as much as we can, but really, we're just going to score more.
Yeah, but we're just going to we'll just run through you. Like, that's just what we will do. Yeah. Give me your fancy coverages. I don't care. We're running 4 verticals every single play. We'll just add it.
All go routes. Just go routes, go routes, go routes. That's all it is for them. Right. Matty, it's been fun. It's been an interesting. Oh, hang on. What's this?
Baker Mayfield coming out. Oh, baby. This is the weekend where we leave it as Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold as the 2 MVP favorites. I'm telling you, boys, this is the weekend.
This is where it happens, does it? This is where it happens. Unless Alec knows something about Baker Mayfield's sexuality.
It's a wildly different type of weekend.
Wildly different coming out type of game. Anyway, on that bombshell. we should probably hang up the phone and get out of here because
Oh
Scotty
my God.
Hansen's about to say those magic words that we all love
He
on a
is.
Sunday
Get over
afternoon.
to Red Zone, people,
Go
now.
and get the red zone on and go and watch Scotty Hansen. This has been NFL Around the UK on Sportsbag UK. We'll see you at some point during the week, but I'm just going to go and laugh about that crazy comment that I just dropped. Take it easy. Thanks for jumping in, Matty. Have a good one.
See you later.